Last year in NBA 2K19, I had a video where we made quarters 3 hours long in the game. And it ended up with players getting some pretty crazy stats and a game that you definitely would not want to play through. But of course, we're in NBA 2K20. I gotta up it even more. In today's video, we have 1 year long quarters in NBA 2K20. If you do some math or just Google, you'll find out that 1 year is equal to 525,600 minutes. So that is the quarter length we are going to be playing with today. And when we actually do this in settings, the quarter length is just invisible. It doesn't show any minutes or anything. When we hop in the game, it does actually work. All right, so here we go. Hopping into the game. We're at tip-off right now. We can't see the quarter length just yet, but once we win this, which we should win quite easily, check out that quarter length. That's ridiculous. 525,599, and we can actually up that even more if we wanted to, but obviously I'm not going to be playing this full game because each quarter a year long. That is going to take me 4 years just to finish this game, and who knows, this game might end up being a tie. We might have to go to overtime, and then we're going to have half a year of overtime. I'm not exactly sure how 2K would work with that, but I mean, that would just not be enjoyable. So we're not going to be playing this entire game, but what we are going to be doing is going into my league and simulating a season to see what would happen with this long of quarters. We are less than 1,000 subscribers away from 300K, so it'd be very appreciated if you guys could subscribe to the channel, help me get that 300K milestone. That'd be absolutely insane. Also just posted a brand new picture on Instagram. If you want to go check that out, go follow me on Instagram at roy.nixon. Okay, so we're in my league now. Unfortunately, when we had 1 year quarters, the game just crashes because it's just way too much for my computer to handle. And so then I tried out 1 month quarters, and it did work, but it would have taken like days just to get through an entire season just because of how slow it's simulated. So we're going to be trying now with 1 week long quarters. Of course, you can't see it in the settings. It's just invisible. But we do have 1 week long quarters now. And we're going to start off here, see if the first day can actually simulate through. It is the fastest day. There's only 2 games on October 22nd. I just want to see how long it takes to get through the first few games and see if it's actually viable for us to simulate an entire season at this length. Okay, so that did not take too long at all. Our final score here for the Lakers versus Clippers game is going to be 459 to 321. I don't know what happened in the second and third quarter because that was like a normal game in those 2 quarters. Maybe the simulation is a little messed up. And then as you can see here as well, points is capped out at 764 and assists is capped out at 127. And then minutes are super low as well. In 1 week, there's 10,080 minutes. So it's a little messed up, some of the numbers, just because the simulation is so crazy. So we're going to come over here, season stats, and go to league leaders. And somehow, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope has the most points per game with 1,206 in that first game. Pat McCaw is leading for rebounds with 482. Stanley Johnson for assists with 247. Steals is Darius Miller, 251. I think the reason why this happened in the first game is possibly because all of our good players fouled out and got kicked out of the game. So we're actually going to go ahead and turn off fouls. We're going to just turn fouling out off. Otherwise, it's just not going to work out well throughout the simulation because our good players are going to foul out and our bad players, I don't know how these guys even managed to play that long. Okay, so I've been sitting here for a few minutes now. It does not seem to want to simulate. It just takes too long to get through these days, and I will not be able to get a video out ever if we were to wait for an entire season of this. So we're going to have to make the quarters even shorter. I think I'm going to make them 1 day long, or 1,440 minutes, which is still absolutely insane because right now we have 48-minute quarters. We're adding 1,400 minutes to the quarter length, and let's see what that's going to do. All right, we made it to the All-Star break. That took so long to actually simulate, just like halfway through the season. We had Team Stephen Curry, Team Kevin Durant as our 2 All-Star captains. Donovan Mitchell won the dunk contest. And Derek White won the three-point contest, which is pretty interesting. Coming over here to Team Kevin Durant. First, we got Harden, Giannis, Jimmy, Jokic, DeMar, John Wall, Zach LaVine, Kevin Love, Lou Williams, Brooke Lopez, and Marcus Morris all making the All-Star team. Interesting, Lou, Brooke, and Marcus Morris all getting on there, and Kevin Love. I mean, right now in the NBA, they aren't really performing great. Team Stephen Curry, we got Curry, LeBron, AD, Kyrie, Embiid. This team looks a lot better than the other one. Paul Millsap ends up making it on. Siakam, Tobias Harris, and Eric Bledsoe. There's a lot of surprises on these All-Star teams. In the dunk contest, of course, we have Zion, Donovan Mitchell, Miles Bridges, and Derek Jones Jr. Three-point contest. This doesn't make a lot of sense how these guys are on here, but I don't know how, but all of them are shooting 50% from the three-point line. That might be a little messed up. A lot of the numbers are messed up in this simulation, especially the scores on screen. You see right now, I think they like cap at 1,000 and then they like restart. So the scores are a lot lower than they should be, because if we come over here to league leaders, Lou Williams is averaging 1,000 points per game. We are on the final day of games in this simulation. That took so long to actually get through. It took like an hour just to simulate all of these games. And there we go. The season is done, and already these awards are just crazy. And I could tell there's a lot of glitch stats already. If we check out the MVP, it's going to be Kelly Oubre Jr. Apparently, he had 873 points per game, which makes sense that the games were a day long. Rebounds 185, and then assists, steals, and blocks were all glitched at 27.3. Field goal, free throw, and three-point percentage were all glitched at as well. We saw that earlier on the three-point contest. Everybody had a 50% three-point field goal. Jackson Hayes wins Rookie of the Year, 829, 183. Don't know about assists. I don't know if these guys are getting their triple triples or quadruple triples and stuff like that. Kyle Kuzma, Sixth Man of the Year. LeBron gets Defensive Player of the Year, even though his stats are lower because I don't know, they're just glitched out. Most Improved goes to LeBron. I did not know he could improve anymore. He was a 97. It's got to be a 99 now, I guess. Luke Walton gets Coach of the Year as well. I don't know how the Kings did so well. Right now, they're doing awful in the NBA, and they got the best record, apparently 71 wins. Our NBA first team. You would not see any of these guys on the first team in real life. This is so weird. The second team, we've got Blake Griffin on there. That kind of makes sense. He's only an 84 overall. What's our highest overall? Vucevic at an 86. Let's go to the third team. Zach LaVine. I mean, that would make sense for him to be on the third team. Other than that, nobody else really makes too much sense to be on these teams. The defensive teams, these ones are actually pretty decent. They turned out pretty well. LeBron's a 98 overall. How do you get Most Improved? Like, they can't improve too much. But yeah, don't see Zion and don't... Okay, Ja and Zion are on the rookie second team. I mean, this simulation was just so botched with these one-day quarters. Originally, I was going to do 1 year. I don't even know how that could have even turned out if that ended up happening. But here we are checking out the conference standings. In the East, the Knicks are the top team with 64 wins. How does that even happen? That does not make sense. Points per game is at 70.5, but their points allowed are at 411. So negative a 340 point differential, but they're still the best team in the East. This does not make sense at all. Pacers, Hawks, 76ers, Raptors, Celtics, Hornets, and Heat all making it. Cavs are pretty close. The Bucks don't end up making it in there. And the Nets are the worst team in the East with Kevin Durant and Kyrie. Over in the West, the Kings are the top team. And yet again, points per game 400, but the points allowed is higher for all the top teams here. They all have negative point differentials, so I don't know how they could possibly win if they had negative point differentials. But yeah, we scroll down in the West. Lakers are the worst team. Clippers are the third worst team somehow. Let's go over to season stats here. League leaders. So Vucevic going to be the league leader with 917 points per game. Right now, the top is James Harden with he's averaging, 35 points per game. And Vucevic goes ahead and drops 917. We got none of the top players in the NBA now. There's Giannis at number 15. You would think that he'd be on top there, but nope. Vucevic does get the double-triple, but not able to get the triple-triple. Did anybody get a triple-triple? No. Furkan with the most assists per game with 32. I wonder if this was glitched at all either, because it looks like all these top stats are at 32, and the odds of that happening are very slim. So I feel like these 3 stats are glitched. Maybe there's a cap in 2K. Rebounds per game goes to Melly. He had 203.8. Lou Williams had the second most rebounds. A 6'1" player had 203.1 rebounds per game. That is insane. Blocks, again, glitched out at 32. Field goal percentage, this does not make sense. The highest field goal percentage you can have in the NBA is 100%, which is 1.000, but somehow Jared Dudley managed to get 343% field goal. This is just so weird. And we had a few players shooting over 100%. 5 players with over 100% field goal percentage. 3-point percentage, Jared Dudley was even better. He made 1,920% of his 3-point shots. So I don't know if he hit a shot. Did they just give him 19.2 extra points, or 19.2 3-points for 1? I mean, that doesn't make sense at all. Again, we got a bunch of players shooting over 100%, which is literally impossible. You can't shoot over 100%. Free throw percentage, it is not Jared Dudley this time. It's Thon Maker shooting 296.4% from the free throw line. Let's see who played the most minutes per game. This is not correct either, because there was 1,440 minutes per game. Somehow we only played 128 minutes, and I don't think you can average 1,000 points playing only 100 minutes per game. That's only double the length of a game right now. So yeah, everything just really messed up. DeAndre Hunter had the best plus and minus. Again, who knows if that's right. Also, look how many players. I guess there is a cap inside of 2K for points allowed in a season, because 65,535 is at the top here. And to take that into perspective, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the most points in an NBA career with 38,387. So these guys scored almost double that in just one season, because I mean, every single record has got to be broken. Carmelo's got the most points in a career now with 91,000. Literally everybody beating out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who had 38,000. He's not even top 100 in NBA history anymore. And most of these guys just did it this season. Field goals made. So let's just go over the season. Yeah, so as you can see, it's capped out at 65,535. Field goals made is capped out at 4,095. 3-pointers capped out at 1,023. Free throws, 2,047. Rebounds actually wasn't capped out at 16,712 for Melly right there. Assists capped out, blocks capped out, steals. So yeah, assists, blocks, steals, we saw that it was messed up in the points per game, and it did get capped out. Minutes got capped out as well. So I guess that's why nobody averaged so many minutes, because everybody played like 1,000 a game. So you can't, it's like half the stats are just capped out here. And then we got points per game. Vucevic is at the top. Field goal percentage doesn't make sense. None of this stuff, none of these records make sense at all. Let's see what the record is for a game. Okay, 764 is the cap for a game. So you actually cannot score more than that many points in a game of 2K. 768 was capped out, but it only happened a few times. And then no, it was capped out at 5. This 3-pointers made in a single game. Lillard, Lowry, and D'Angelo Russell all hit 512, which is double the other cap down here. It does not make a lot of sense. Just know that every single record in the NBA was beaten. We're hopping into the playoffs now. I'm not sure. This is going to take a bit to simulate. We'll start off by simulating the first round. We'll see who ends up being the NBA champion. Again, it's going to be so messed up in this playoff simulation, but let's get the first round over with. Well, we're at the conference finals, and I can confidently say there is 2 teams that we will not be seeing in the Eastern Conference Finals for sure. In the West, I mean, this is possible, Jazz, Houston, but it's very unlikely still because of how stacked the West is with the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets. I mean, there's so many great teams over there, but Knicks and Hawks in the East. It doesn't make a lot of sense. They are the 1 and 3 seed, but over in the West, it was mostly upsets. We don't have the Kings end up making it to the NBA Finals. Let's see which 2 teams are going to be there. The simulation is so slow. It's actually not too bad in the playoffs. I feel like it took longer during the regular season. The Hawks are up 3-1 against the Knicks. They might get a little bit of an upset here. And there we go. The Hawks beating the Knicks 4-2. And the Jazz beating the Rockets. So it's going to be Hawks versus Jazz in the NBA Finals. Starting off here with game number 1. The Jazz take game 1. Hawks take game 2. This is like the same simulation speed as on the PS4. We're all tied up at 2. Jazz take a 3-2 lead. And the Utah Jazz are going to be your NBA champs. Rudy Gobert with the Finals MVP. And this isn't too crazy of a prediction. I mean, the Jazz do have a chance at winning the championship this year. I don't personally think it's going to happen, but it's not crazy. It's not like the Hawks or something won. I mean, the playoffs, this whole thing was just so messed up. We're going to end the video right there. 1 year, 1 day. We had 1 year quarters, 1 day quarters. I mean, this was just insane. 2K just completely glitched out, but it was still a fun little thing to do, a fun video to make. If you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. We are almost at 300K, so help me get there. And of course, smash that like button as well. Let me know that you do enjoy these videos. This has been your boy Smequle, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the